something. 10 men, 20 men, 30 men. That do was something. 10 men, 20 men, 30 men. Yeah, drink them up. Yeah.
We rolling. You know what it is, man. DJ Thoro, a.k.a. Thorozano, Bridge to the Streets. And right now, you're watching the hottest in the streets right here on thisis50.com. Got a legendary special guest in the building. Introduce yourself.
My name is Keith KP Presley, man. Wild Hunters in the building. That's 10 Trey, Shot-Town Finders, in the house like a Project Mouse.
All right, you always say that. I noticed. The project.
There you go, man. I'm here to stay.
You should put a movie out.
Movie on the way, man. It's inevitable. I gotta get on film. It's inevitable, man.
I mean, speaking of movies, your whole life is a movie. You know what I mean?
The church say, amen.
Exactly. Your whole life is a movie. So, but I like to do stuff chronologically. Then I just skip all over everywhere. So, you're in the city today. You're from Shot-Town, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One of the most famous gangsters that I know about from Shot-Town is Al Capone.
Yeah.
That's one of them. That's one of them.
Definitely.
That's one of them. Obviously, there are many others, but I would say that may be one of the most legendary worldwide figures.
His family's still eating off his name right now today, Al Capone.
Al Capone, right. Now speaking of eating off the name, you have a book out, correct?
Man, here it is right here.
He's like the alley-oop, right?
Oh, man. He's a good dude, man. It's a dirty game, memoirs of a hustler, man. Right. Check this out, man. Have you ever seen a black man put something together like this?
Now this packaging alone is incredible. They look like something from Noah's of the Ark, Raiders of the Lost Ark for a movie.
Check that out. It is. It's a treasure.
I see.
It's a treasure chest, man, of jewels.
Right.
You know that's that dropping jewels. That little saying come from New York.
Right.
I'm dropping jewels on you.
Jewels, right.
I'm dropping a whole treasure chest on you right here, man, for a small fee of a G.
How much this book is a G?
$1,000 cash, all big bills, please.
All big bills, please. I like this guy. Now, what made you decide to write this book, and why now?
On some real talk, man. People wanted this story 20 years ago, but I ended up with 42 years in the penitentiary, and I'm like, what am I write a story about losing for? But I gave the 42 years back the right way. Okay. Nobody got told on, and now I'm doing something positive where I'm throwing fights all over the world. Televised fights, and I'm pushing my book, I'm pushing my story, and it's been pretty good, man. I've sold 250 books right now.
Damn.
As of today, and today what, May 26th?
Okay.
So I've sold 250 books, so I'm $250,000 richer, and my goal is to sell 1,000 books at $1,000, and that equal $1 million, and nobody can refute my millionaire status, because it's already documented I made millions the other way.
The other way, right. Mm-hmm. Right. Now speaking, you were sentenced to 42 years.
Yes, I was.
Right. Now, you obviously didn't do the whole 42.
Absolutely.
Right. Now, for people that you were in the feds or state?
I was in state and feds.
In feds you got to do 85% of the time.
85% of your time.
Right.
And I did my state time in Illinois where you do half the time.
Right.
So I like to talk about this subject matter, man, because a lot of guys get a lot of television play, and they got clouds over their heads. Ain't no clouds over my head. I'm a flawless stone VVS 1 at the worst. You know what I'm saying? These other guys
you rap too, man. You got bars.
Oh, I rhyme with reasons, never out of season.
Okay.
But I start off macking and end up facking. So this is how the game.
Definitely from Chicago.
That's how the game go, man.
Right. Okay.
You know, I got 12 years in the state and 30 in the feds, which is 42 years. They tried to run them wild. Long story short story shorter. I won my direct appeal, and I go into great detail about it in my book.
Right.
If y'all really want to know my story, man, dig off into this demonstration, and it'd be the wisest $1,000 you ever invested.
Right. Now coming from Chicago, I mean, see me when I interview certain figures like you, I like to give people. Too often in our culture we glamorize certain lifestyles without letting them know. We don't necessarily tell the outcome. Or 90% of what's going to happen when you involve yourself with certain activities or whatever. So I feel it's my job up here to obviously tell the correct story, but also let people know there's a consequence to living good. There's a consequence to certain actions or whatever. So, and I like to go back before you got into the streets, what type of upbringing did you have?
I was raised very middle class.
Okay.
I had both my parents at home. They both worked. Wasn't a street dude at all. I didn't get in the streets until I was grown.
Okay.
I was 21 years old. So a lot of guys, they start early, they start young, they have people influence them in that way. I wasn't influenced. It was a business decision for me.
Okay. I mean, you just wanted to make money.
I just wanted to make money. It was an opportunity presented itself, and I wouldn't say I had one of the quickest story because I don't know everybody else's story, but basically from a guy that never sold drugs, that didn't know what a drug dealer was, to having $30,000 45 days later. You know, that's my story.
Right.
And you know, to go from, you know, having $200 or $300 on a college campus to having $30,000 in your room, you know, it's
right.
That's what happened for me.
So this started in college.
Just started in college for me.
Right. So most people go to college to make money to get a degree. Did you figure that take too? Like, nah, fuck that. This is taking too long.
I mean, this. I'm an anomaly, man, when it comes to that, because
Okay.
in that magazine article, I basically said at first I was a college student that was selling drugs. Then I took off so fast I became a drug dealer that was in college.
Okay.
So the dynamics of that scenario changed immensely.
Right. So you're kind of like what do you call it? A Martin. I don't say Martin Day Tariq, but kind of like what Tariq. You watch Power, right?
I haven't watched it in years.
So basically, Tariq is a college student.
Oh,
and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he's selling it to everybody on campus.
Oh,
at the same time, still maintaining. You know,
I watched Power for about 3 or 4 years.
Right.
I haven't watched it in the last couple of years. But it went off air. But
right.
I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Right. So what was your first introduction like? But I don't like calling names that can't be called, so I don't want to do that. But who got you involved in this?
A fellow college student of mine. You know, he came by my crib one day and he wanted to bag his drugs up in my house, and that was the first time I ever been exposed to drugs outside of marijuana. I've seen marijuana before, but I've never seen cocaine before. And he bagged up an 8-ball, and that's when the bug bit me. He did it. I'm like, whoa, this man, he do it. Ain't nothing clever about him, more clever about him than about me. And I threw my hat in the arena, and I just took off, man. It was a lot of I would say, besides luck, because it was a lot of luck because I caught it at the right time.
Right.
But you know, I had vision.
Right.
And a lot of people don't have vision. So I saw where I could take me.
Now, how long was your run before you started getting jammed up? Like, because everybody, one thing about this game, you're either going to go to jail or you're going to die. It's very few people get out alive. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
so
that's just.
So when you say run, it's you know, it's so many different variations of drug dealing and people that call themselves in the game. Because you know, I was in and out several times. You know, you first get the money, then you want to open up all these legitimate businesses, and then you find out you ain't doing nothing but buying yourself a job. So once I got past all that foolishness, man, I just was 10 toes down, and I became a multi-millionaire doing it.
Right.
So I don't know how many years it was. I just know that drug money come fast, and it leave your hands even faster.
And it leave your hands faster. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I would say you went to school for 1 year. Like how long were you in school before you decided to do?
Yeah, I graduated from college.
Oh, you graduated? That's dope.
So
that's dope.
You know, I spoke about this in the last episode where, you know, I drove my AMG Benz to my own graduation.
Right.
With my mink coat on, I had the Nugget watch with the Parve diamonds in it, and had my 951 Gazelles, the 3-piece, you pop them in and out.
Right.
Had me a little vet bra, you know, back then when you're young, you want the old bras. Now I'm old, I want me something young.
Right.
You catch me with an old bra, I'm holding for the police.
Right. Now, what year was this?
1987.
87. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's dope. That's dope. That's great. That's the golden era of all that shit. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Yeah.
Like they literally got movies about this shit in that era or whatever. So, all right. So you're in college. You're doing your thing. You get jammed up.
Hey, that's nice. This is nice, man. I'm gonna hold this right here, man.
Okay.
This gonna put you all the way together.
Let's put me all together. Let's go. All right.
Man.
Damn, this feel like $1,000. This feel like $1,000.
It should feel like $1 million because I'm giving you $1 million worth of game for $1,000.
This feels like $1,000.
Well, I had to make sure, man, the aesthetics match the content of the book, man. So I don't want nobody to think I'm fleecing them.
Now,
man.
is this bulletproof? Damn.
Hey, well, you know, it's put together well, man. That's not the Chinese version, man. That's the real deal right there.
It's the real deal. Now, if they want to get this, how can they cop this? Directly?
Man.
Website?
Hey, man, go to kptheman.com.
Okay.
kptheman.com. And follow me on Instagram also, kptheman1000. Because I keep it 1,000. And I charge 1,000 for this book, man.
Right. Now, what message do you want to relate to anyone, you know, while we're here today? Like, is there anything in particular you want to get across?
Well, every time I do an interview, man, my past is what gets me in the door to get these interviews.
Right.
But I'm not here to glorify my past.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here to say, I took that same hustle and I made a transition with the hustle because the hustle is transferable.
Right.
So now only a dope boy could come up with to say, man, I can make $1 million selling 1,000 books at $1,000. Only a dope boy.
Right.
Now, I'm gonna tell you why only a dope boy can do it. Cause Jay-Z didn't do it, cause he's corporate now. Beyonce didn't do it. Kanye didn't do it. Kim Kardashian didn't do it. Donald Trump didn't do it. Obama didn't do it. Keith Presley did it.
Right.
10 Trey, Wild Hundreds, Chicago. So I came up with a concept to become a legitimate millionaire. So nobody is unrefutable. Nobody can question me. Nobody can say, oh, he bought all his own books and all that stuff. No. Everybody that buy a book from me get a certificate of authenticity, and they can tell you where they got their $1,000 from.
Right. Now I like teachable moments. Like obviously we got mad youth in the street. They're running wild. They have no direction. What would be some advice you can offer somebody? Because you've been there, done that. Maybe to deter them from that, or to give them I don't know, like some type of game. You know, if that's what they decide to do.
So this is one thing I know to be actual factuals. A person don't become what they don't see. So everybody talk that goody boy, goody two shoe bull crap, and do something different, or have their hand in the cookie jar.
Right.
All they got to do is watch me. You know, the proof is in the pudding. I'm a professional boxing promoter. You can see me on television. That's the proof.
Right.
I'm on here every time I sell a book. I just sold my 250th book. I'm getting ready to post it. So if you say 250 books times 1,000, guess what? This dude made $250,000, and he ain't got to get up and punch nobody clock. And this is just the beginning. The $1 million is just the beginning. So I'm showing for all my other guys that's hustling that you can make that transfer. You can make that change in your life if you choose to. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not here to glorify the dope gang, because the dope gang got me 42 years in jail. It got me shot up before. It got me attempted kidnap before, and Lord knows what else somebody else had planned for me. That's just the stuff that I can account for that happened to me. It's a dirty game. That's why the book is called It's a Dirty Game, man. Right. Because you know I'm an anomaly, man. I just did something the other day. It was me. Freeway Ricky Ross, the real Rick Ross from California.
I interviewed him too.
And a guy by the name of Shorty Bible. He was the second. He was an indictment with Larry Hoover, so he was a high-ranking member of the Growth and Development.
Right.
And I showed where all of us. I had 42 years. Both of them had life, natural life. Life is life in the federal penitentiary.
Right.
We all gave our time back, and we're all authors now. And we're all doing entrepreneurial things.
Right.
So here are 3 examples of people that done what we did in the past and say, hey, look, you can make that transition, because a lot of times these guys don't believe they can do anything else to have the lifestyle that I currently still live.
Right.
So I'm showing and proving, and that's why I'm documenting this stuff, man, because up until this point when this book came out, man, you couldn't find me nowhere. I'm like a ghost.
Right.
But now I've come from behind that veil, and I'm showing people, hey, this is. I mean, I got people from my neighborhood that never seen me before. They're like, oh, you KP Presley?
Right.
Like they be shocked, man, and they be shocked that I'm down to earth and I'm approachable, man, because just because I traveled the world don't mean I never played the big I little you game, man. A lot of times when people get money, you know, they think they more important. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They think they more important than the little guy. But I'm wise enough to know that today's nobody is tomorrow's somebody.
Right.
So while you shitting on this person, this might be the person that be up while you're on your way down. Because very few people that even was at the top of that game still sustain that lifestyle. You know, they fall off like a hubcap, and then they be, you know, hating on the young guys, man. Because you know the young guys getting all the money right now.
Right.
But if you can keep taking all your money down to Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all that, you're gonna be broke. You're gonna be just like the dude you laughing at right now.
Right. It's funny you said that the topic of respect, because me, I was raised to treat the janitor like a CEO. You know what I mean? So the guy that cleans up the house, cleans up the toilets, I treat him the same as I treat the CEO of the NFL or anybody. Like I treat with the same respect, and a lot of people they don't value that, you know, that type of concept or whatever, like you said. So obviously you made a lot of money in your day, and we was off camera talking about cars. I'm a car guy. You know what I mean? What was some of the most lavish, I guess, most expensive cars you bought? Or what car? Well, not even expensive. What were some of the cars that were?
Yeah, I mean, just on the old school side, I had a '63 Caddy that I paid $100-some thousand for back in the '90s. Like it was an off-frame. I'm talking about, man. It's just I've never seen nothing remotely close to it, man. It was just so wet. You know, I had several $100,000 cars. In '92, I had the 500 SL convertible. '95, I had the S500 with the Lorenzo kit with the barber wheels, 19 inches.
Right.
You know, that 19 inch was the shit back. I'm talking about '94. I had the nice with the P700 Pirellis on it.
It's funny you said it because right now I have a '95 S600 with Lorenzo with the D93s on it. The Lorenzo's the hammer joints. But all right, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I had 560 SEL candy painted. That was back in the day, man. AMG, a real AMG.
Right.
The kit, the wheel, steering with the whole nine. Man, you know, I had all that, everything that, you know, I had a Porsche in college.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just things of that nature, man. I had a bunch of cars, a bunch of toys, too many to name. But anybody that know me know that I always roll slick, you know what I'm saying? And that's part of the game, especially coming up in the 80s, man. You can't even tell nobody you're a dope boy, you ain't got no jewelry and no car.
Right.
You playing.
You playing, right. Right. Now, what's the most outlandish thing you purchased? Because, you know, when you get money, everybody makes that foolish purchase. Or I want to say foolish. What's the craziest thing you purchased, like you bought? Was it a crazy house, jewelry? What would it have been?
I wouldn't say it was the craziest. I mean, I had... a lot don't want to get a sand, but I got to get a sand because the outlandish thing I bought a $250,000 show power watch before.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was worth every dime of it, man. Matter of fact, this is the true story. If anybody know anything about this, about buying a show power, when I bought it, I ordered out the book. The watch come from Switzerland. They built the watch, shipped it to me, and had it delivered in an armor truck.
Armor truck. Right.
Armor truck. Now, do your fact checks on that for all you bust down Rolex wearing guys. You know what I'm saying? This was a real deal. Right. And I had some bust down Rolex myself until I got, you know, to up my game. You go through the stages.
Right.
So yeah, no, that was one of the most ridiculous things. You know, and I had $5,000 suits and stuff. And when I went to court one time, the lady hired somebody to come in, you know, put somebody on the stand and say, showed a picture of me with a $5,000 suit on. I said, damn, that was a very good move on her part because we talking about this. I went to trial in like 2002. I'm like, the average person in the jury stand, car didn't even cost $5,000. And here's a picture of me with a $5,000 Versace suit on. Right. So that's ridiculous if you sit back and think about it. Because if I would have had that same $5,000 sitting in some kind of money market making 10%, making 10%, right. That same $5,000 would be probably worth a couple of $100,000 right now.
Right. Now speaking of that, updated now. Are you into cryptocurrency stocks or are you?
I'm learning it. I'm learning it, man, because everybody claim, man. Look, man, this new age world out here. Everybody claim they something that they ain't. But I know that people always overpromise and underdeliver. So I like to underpromise and overdeliver. So in order to do that, I got to do my own reconnaissance and my own fact finding mission. And so. Yeah, you have to be up with the times, man. So you know by the time the stuff really hit the public, man, it's too late. If you're not creating your own currency with your own system in place, you at the mercy of somebody else's creation.
Right. What's your take on this era of everybody does a crime and as soon as they get caught, they start telling. It ain't too many people that stay silent and be like, yo, I did this shit, I'm gonna eat it. That's what it is. Like,
that's the era we're in. I mean, so that start. It ain't new. It's not a new era. It's when I came up in the 80s. They changed. That's when they changed the laws. I think 86, 87. They changed the laws to mandatory minimum and crack was 100 to 1. So that started the so-called real guys started telling. Because, my lawyer told me, he said, my lawyer used to represent the Dagos, the Italian mob back in the day. He told me out of his mouth, rest in peace. He said I was one of his top 3 clients. And he said you might be number 1. He said because the other 2 clients I had, they was in the mob and they knew they would have got murked if they would have told. You know what I'm saying? Right. And for me, I just did it on principle because that's how I was raised. Right. I can't tell on nobody. And so getting back to the part about this new age generation, people from my era started telling back then. You know, before 87, people was standing up. Wasn't too many snitches. Right. You know, I never met a snitch before in the 80s. Never. There was no such thing as a snitch walking around Chicago in my neighborhood that I knew of. Nobody that known snitch. You see what I'm saying? But in 86, they came with, they started hitting the people with the 30, 40 life sentences with relevant conduct, no drugs. It was just bad, man, how they just wiped us out. So that started the telling mentality. So now we're talking about 35 years in, man, that people been telling. Like with confidence now, you know. I mean,
making videos about
right.
it.
I'm just like, I mean, just the perfect example. Rest in peace, the guy Apple, man.
Right.
You know, he did what he done. He got a movie out the situation. They did a movie on Frank Lucas. He was an informant. I mean, like all the guys, or to get a movie. I guess I'll never get a movie because I ain't told on nobody.
Well, that could be a
Look
movie.
now, hold on, man. Don't want to do this. This is some real shit, man.
Okay.
Because every time I do an interview, somebody be coming, throwing a little comments. I'm a rat. This, that. Man, this is on recording. I get somebody $10,000 cash, American money, all big bills, blue faces. If anybody could come up with anything remotely close that I made a statement, I got a debriefing, I got a proffer, I got some kind of just whatever. I ain't some seal indictment, all these old seal indictments these niggas be having and all that. Hey, look here, man. If you ain't never seen a real one, you're looking at one right now, man. And I'm saying that not to down the ones that took that path. It's just to show you the energy and the charisma of one that didn't take that path. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, man.
All right. I love it, man. I love the energy, man. You stay solid, and you know that's what it is. And you know, some people just can't. You know, real is like the new lie. Because when people see something so real, they think it's fake because they used to so much fake.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I word it a little bit different, but I agree with your ideology, man.
Right.
But you know, the real ain't never got nothing to prove to the fake. The real recognize real, so all the real niggas gonna chime in and be like, damn, that nigga know what he talking about.
Right.
That's some real shit.
Right.
You know, so all the other stuff, the fugazi and the chicanery that's being disseminated out here in this world, man, then you know you're gonna be like, man, that ain't sounding like, man, something fishy about that.
Right.
You know? So
merch, I see you got the shirt. It's a dirty game. We got the book. How can we order that if they want to?
Well, this is just my own
That's
personal
a one-on-one?
thing. I'm my own personal billboard,
old
man.
Billboard. I love it.
No, for real. So you know, you got to learn marketing when you're doing this stuff, man. So you know, I'm pushing my brand. I've never wore one of my shirts and nobody didn't say it is a dirty game or what's that. And I tell them this is my book and point them in that direction, man. And that's what it is, man. I'm past the stage. Don't get me wrong. I got designer stuff too, man. But every time I be on television, you ain't gonna see me rocking their stuff and mentioning their name.
Right.
I'm gonna let you guys know, man. You can put your own shirt out and rock your own name and get your own money.
Right.
Stop giving these people, man, all this free advertisement, man. Just speaking of that, man, didn't we boycott Gucci like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah.
Now every time I go past Gucci, man, there's a line outside of Gucci. Ain't nothing but black people, man.
Right.
I'm talking about we the brokest people in the world, man, but we constantly running down, man. Whew, God, man.
And we don't support our own with the same quality product.
That's my whole point.
Right.
I have people arguing with me about the price point of my book. I know my value. I don't have no $20 story. I got a $1,000 story because I'm you know.
I think you need to charge $10,000.
No, I mean that's when the NFT gonna come. When the last joint come out, the NFT that thing might go for
look
$100.
at the presentation. This is crazy.
Man, just like you talked about the quality of the magazine.
Right.
I understand. I had all those things to measure my book by, man.
And now is that real diamonds?
Oh, that's AP. That's an AP, baby.
No, I'm talking about on the book. You put a real diamond.
So I did that to separate myself from everybody else, man, because nobody else is selling $1,000 books, and I want to show them, man, the attention to detail that I went through for that.
Right. That kind of remind me of R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle. He was selling his mixtapes for it was $100. No, it was $1,000 too. He was selling.
So let me get the Nipsey Hussle story, man. First of all, big ups to Nipsey Hussle, man, because he definitely kind of set the bar for that, man. And before I even knew Nipsey did that, I had came up with this concept essentially. But me and Nipsey read the same book called Contagious. And it all started from the Philly cheesesteak, man. They was the first one to sell $100 Philly cheesesteaks. And he took that idea and put it with the book cassette. Then once he sold the cassettes, then he came with the $1,000 version. And from my understanding, I can't say this is a fact, but I think he only sold 60 cassettes at $1,000. I'm currently at 250 books sold. And Nipsey was already an established rap person. He had a record deal with Capitol, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So this is all groundwork. This is all muscle and hustle I'm putting down, man.
Right. Who's your biggest client base that's buying these books? Is it all walks of life? Like
all walks of life, man. But I got some of my street guys that bought, they buying 5 at a time, and I ain't even got up to my celebrity friends. I know they gonna get to buying 5 or 10 of them, man. I haven't bent on them yet because I want them to see me. I'm out here working, man. I'm out here working. I don't have no problem going, door to door and putting my sell pitch down, man, because at the end of the day, I know I'm too smart to put $1,000 price tag on something that's not worth $1,000 because that means I would be setting myself up for failure.
Right.
And I'm not into failure, I'm into succeeding.
Right.
But Confucius says failure is a much better teacher than success. So I had enough failures in my life to make some wise choices based on the mistakes I've made in the past.
Right.
And I put a price point together that I know that's obtainable.
This is definitely obtainable. I mean, the packaging alone is very impressive, like I said, man. Are you sure it's not bulletproof, though?
I gotta check it out, man.
Go ahead, let me see.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, before we get out of here, man, is there anything else you want to speak on or chop it up about that we didn't touch on?
Man, this been real live. Like I'm kicking it with one of my boys.
Yeah,
you know,
so I told you we're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah, we like in the pool hall, just talking
Right.
shit, swallowing spit. You know what I'm saying?
We got it right. You got to get in the studio.
Oh no, man! Look, I'm past them days, man. But
Well,
you know,
can always write for somebody.
but
You know what
I know I got the God-given gift of the gab. I know I possess that, man.
Right.
And I just really thank you for the opportunity, man, to come and just share a little knowledge that I possess, man. There's nowhere in the world you can get that in depth with me, man, for the little bit of time that we spent.
Right.
But hopefully, man, the time that we spent, man, was quality time, and
Right.
somebody can take it away from here.
Yeah.
Take something away from the conversation.
Right.
And know that you had a real one on your show.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I need for them people, man, to support the movement, man, support the cause. My movement is called From Books of Cane to Books of Game. I'm selling game. So don't think you're buying a book from me, man. You're just buying a conglomerate of game in this demonstration, man. No, for real, this is game.
Yeah, I love it. No, I
but
just
no,
love
no, but I want to tell you what game.
Right.
Game is an acronym for gross amount of money earned, because I'm a capitalist, man. I'm about my bread.
Right. I see. I love it. I love it, man. So listen, man, I thank you for sharing your story, coming through, you know, speaking to the audience and sharing your experience, and it's definitely appreciated.
Well, let me give you my handle again, man, because I don't want nobody to have to hit the rewind button on the cassette tape.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that anyway. Let them know how they can follow you, get in contact with you. And all
Man,
that.
so follow me on KP the Man 1000 on Instagram, and Twitter is KP the Man 1000. Facebook is KP the Man. And go to my webpage to purchase the book at kptheman.com. And if you need to get in contact with me, man, for bookings and speech engagements, it's 844-SOUL, SOO, real, REAL. 844-SOUL, SOO, real. Because I'm so real, man.
So
you know what
real,
I'm saying?
man.
Look at me. I can't never be mistaken for a fake or a phony, man, because I'm too authentic.
I love it, man. That's what it is, man. Once again, I go by the name of DJ Thoro. Let them know the name again.
KP the Man in the house.
And he's so real, you know what it is. And like always, when you see us, one knee us. That means get on one knee, pay respects. We out.
Man.